Hello, this is Mark Denham, radio presenter, audio producer, voiceover and podcaster. And today on the audio journey, we are finally actually going to produce something. This is a trailer that I am working on for my own internet radio. It's all about our 80s show. And what I've done is I've already gone in and recorded in the waveform the voice. So what have we learned so far? We've learned, in terms of the technical stuff I'm talking about here, we've learned about recording in the waveform. We've learned about basic processing in the waveform. We've learned the difference between normalizing, compressing, and hard limiting. Then we've gone on and we've gone into the multi-track. We've learned little basics about individual tracks and buses. And in the last episode, we also learned the importance of which effect goes where in this effects rack down the left here, because it can make a massive difference. We have here a voiceover already recorded and ready to go. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Yep, we do. We absolutely love the 80s. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start here, effects, amplitude and compression, normalize, and we'll normalize it to -1 dB. That won't change any of the dynamics. You can see that's a very small waveform. What that will do, as we've already discussed, is it'll find the loudest part of the audio, and then it will boost the whole audio by the difference between the current loudest part and the target that we've set of -1. So we apply that, and there we have a much larger waveform to work with here. We'll go into the multi-track, and we will call this Atom 80s Promo, November 19. And we'll click OK, and up pops a new totally blank session full of tracks here with absolutely nothing on them. All would record from the default stereo input, or we'll play out to the master. We'll change that as we go through. But what we'll do first is we're going to the media browser here, and let's have a little look here. What have we got? Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. What's in here? Just trying to find the right backing music here for 80s at 8. That'll do. That'll do. Right, let's have a little... what we'll do is we will line up the voice now, so we'll allow the music a little time to establish itself. Right, where does that start? It's there, isn't it? There. So that's where we want the voice then to come in, and we will drag that in. So that's kicking off around about there. Now, at the moment, you won't hear it. You won't hear that, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine at the moment. I'm not too worried about that. What we're going to do first, though, is we're going to go through, and we're now going to go back to our effects rack. And you'll see here, we're going to chop up this voiceover, and we are going to put it into different places. So let's go through. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Right, what we'll do is, and at Atom Radio, let's have that, and we will cut that there, and we will have that on another track. So straight away, we've got two vocal tracks. We love the 80s. And then what I want to do there is I want to cut again, and then I'm going to move that for now back up. Now let me have a little think here. I might even just drag that along a little bit, and then what I might do is put that back in a second time. This is very much being done freestyle here, so I'm going to... Now, if I right-click at the top here and drag this along, I can then create a copy. I want to move that down to another track. And straight away, you can see we're onto 3 tracks already, and I've not really done very much. Let me just tighten that up. So what we've got so far is... Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. We love the 80s. Right, so there is a reason that that's duplicated, and you'll see why in a moment. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down, and I'll just pop it a little bit lower for now. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go down, and if I press Alt and B on my keyboard here, Alt and B will get me a bus, and we will call this Vocal Bus, or Vocla. How about Vocal Bus? That's better. Now, all of these voice tracks, as I create them, I will then route to the vocal bus, so they will all go through the same processing. And you'll see why we're doing this in a moment. Vocal bus, and we haven't used any of the others yet. And you'll see now, if we scroll down, hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, they're all coming up on the vocal bus. Now, why have I done that? Because on the vocal bus, I'm going to add in the default processing that is going to go to all of the channels. So let me go in here, and I'll select that. That is my preset that I've already defined, and I'll show you how to save those later on. But that's going to reduce the sibilance. We love the 80s. And then I'm going to add into that perhaps a little bit of EQ, parametric EQ. Again, I'll go down and I will use my preset for my voice. And there we are. Love the 80s. Right. Okay. I'll finish those effects off in a moment. But what I want to do now is I want to get the basics of this promo done. So just basic voice here. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio... Right, this one, track 3, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some modulation and chorus, and I'm going to add chorus. Okay, so now when you listen, hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. That's for emphasis. Now on this one, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a bit of filter and EQ, and I will use the FFT filter now. And I'm going to go down for the on-hold EQ filter. And this will make me sound like I'm on the phone. Atom Radio, we love the 80s. We love the 80s. And then, when I've done that, I can go back, drag back in the rest of the voice. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna. Okay, now we have all of these different ones here. Okay, so let's drag that down now to track 5. Again, we will route that straight away to the vocal bus. And we're going to tighten this up here. Okay, time. Think Madonna. Okay, so we have a list here of different artists from the 80s. And what I want to do here is I want to drag that down as well to there, tighten it up. And this is just basic processing here. So we've got... Okay, time. Think Madonna. Think Rick Astley. So we have a list of artists here. What I want to do here on these tracks is I want to put in, let's say, maybe some slightly different EQ. So if I go in here and I go back and put in filter and EQ, parametric equalizer, and go back to my own preset, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll this up to get a more imagey type sound. And I've now cut off anything beneath 250 time. Think Madonna. Think Rick Astley. Okay, now what I want to do there is I want this track to be exactly the same. So again, go in, filter and EQ, parametric equalizer, use my own preset, change the high pass filter so anything beneath 250 hertz is not let through. It's a high pass filter. It only lets through above what you say. Think Rick Astley. And then we're going to cut that again. Cut that, take that up there and just tighten it. Think Whitney Houston. Okay, big breath there. We don't need that big breath. We're going to cut that big breath altogether off. And then what we'll do is we will go back. Let me just line this up again. So this is like, you know, in rapid fire. And then you'll see what I'm about to do in a minute, why I've created 2 identical tracks that are both routed to the vocal bus. So, think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle. There we are. Okay, so let's copy that and we'll stick that back up there now on the default vocal track. Why have I done that, you might ask? Well, as we broadcast in stereo, I'm going to pan this all the way over now to the right, and this one all the way over to the left. So as you go through, we want that to be minus 100. I couldn't scroll down far enough on my mouse mat. As you go through now... Okay, time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle... Right, now let's just put a little fade there by dragging the end in because that's got that breath in. So we'll get rid of the breath. We'll do the same here as well. We'll get rid of the breath just to tidy it up. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle. Right, so now there's a little breath at the end there as well. So what we'll do is we'll just go in and we'll fade that out there. And then what we can do is we can go back across to here. Put another one there to get rid of the rest of that breath. And you've got 80s at 8. Now, we want to emphasize 80s at 8, don't we? We want to emphasize 80s at 8. So we'll cut again, Control and K. We'll go down to this track, and this track was our chorus track. 80s at 8. And then if we go back up there, got 80s at 8. What I might do here, actually, is I might just drag that along a little bit, and I might create another chorus track. So if I now hold down the Shift key and pull that down, you can see if I drag left or right, I can't move it. It's locked in time by the fact I'm holding the Shift key. Drag that down, that's created another track here. And then I want to route that straight away to the vocal bus. I want to add onto there a bit of amplitude and, no, I don't. I want to add onto there a bit of chorus. We'll go again with the default two-voice chorus, but this time, got 80s at 8. Let me go up here, and what I want to do here is I want to analyze in here the length of a beat of the music. So let me just solo that. Okay, so if I take that, then we have 0.979. Okay, 0.979 is the length of a 0.358. Sorry, is the length of a beat. 0.358. Why do I want to know that? Because what I'm going to do now is go back here to this track, and then I'm also going to add on a bit of delay and echo. We'll have some echo, and it was 358, wasn't it? 358. What I do need to know is what 358 divided by 2 is. So up comes the handy calculator. 358 divided by 2, 179. So now the left channel will echo on the beat and the right channel will echo every half beat. And this little thing down here, echo bounce, means that that will then bounce between the two. So let's have a listen now to what we've got. We need to go back up, by the way, and take this off of solo and mute it again while we finish this. Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. So there we are. Bit of reverb on that as well, which will echo away with the beat. What we need to do is we need to just start that there. So if we just start that there. So that's, oh, no, I'm on the wrong tool now. Need to go back up and find where that beat was. There. So let's just start that there. Let's see how that sounds, because we have introduced a bit of a gap. Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Right, we'll move that along a little bit. Let's see how that sounds. Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. So, what you're doing here is you're just basically doing this by ear at the moment, because we haven't even got the beat. So let's move that along to there. On Atom Radio, exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. Now, that's gone slightly over the music bed, and there is something I don't like there. Like with the big gap here, I don't like where that says on Atom Radio. Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. On Atom Radio. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of that, because we've got on Atom Radio, exclusively on Atom Radio, to then go on with the voice. So we'll get rid of that bit altogether. Cut is Control and K on your keyboard. If you hold down Shift and Delete, that'll do a ripple delete. So now you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. And then that'll finish just nicely there with the music as well. So what we've done is we've chopped this voice up and we've put it in different places. This is just standard going through the voice effects bus, the vocal bus. This one here is going through the vocal bus with a bit of added chorus. This one here has the FFT filter to produce this on the phone sound.
We love the 80s.
And then if you go further along here, you'll hear that we've used a bit of, on the right track, a bit of parametric equalizer to roll off a lot of the bass. And here it goes. Time. Think Madonna. Think Rick. Do you know what? I'm thinking we could even take that up a little bit further to 300. Oh, no, not 3. I can't type. Just can't type today. No, not 3,000. There we are. Otherwise, it'll just sound horrendous. And we'll do the same on this side, so they're matching. The only difference with these two, why I've created 2 identical tracks, is so I can have one pan left, one pan right. There is another way to do that, by the way. 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna. Think Rick Astley. Think Whitney Houston. Think Belinda Carlisle. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk. Okay, now let's have a little look at our vocal bus here. Vocal bus so far has a de-esser and a parametric equalizer. One of the effects that we learned yesterday, of course, or in our last episode rather, one of the effects that we learned was the speech volume leveler. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley. Now, you can hear that there is a massive perceived difference in loudness here. UK time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on Atom Radio. Now, the only problem with that is the echo. Listen to the difference that makes on the echo. Got 80s at 8. See, if you have a listen here, we'll just put this on loop. That's the only problem here, I think, with this. Got 80s at 8. Got 80s at 8. Got 80s at 8. You can hear that echo fades away very, very differently if we don't have the speech volume leveler on. But don't worry, there is a way that we can deal with that. If you flip this down, you get the volume here. And this line here, you can then put what are known as keyframes on, and you can fade away that echo so it just dies away naturally, just like that. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on Atom. I would like that to go just a little bit further. Let me go up and find out where exclusively starts. Exclusively is there. So I would like that echo just to last a little bit longer. So let's drag that out so it's not at its lowest there. Try again. Got 80s at 8. Exclusively on... Still maybe just a little while longer there. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. I'm thinking that could be tightened a little. Exclusively. And you've got 80s at 8. We just drag that in now so it's there. Let's try that and see how we get on. Oh, that didn't quite sound right, did it? With where we started that midway through. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. Okay, now what else would we want to do perhaps on the vocal bus? We've got the speech volume leveler in. We could also add a little bit now of mastering. Now, as I said, when we did the last one, when we looked at the mastering effect, it is very, very powerful. And all I want to look at here is the effects that would go on the voice. Now, I've used the speech volume leveler, so I don't really need to use the loudness maximizer here. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's just a little bit of reverb added, and then the exciter, just to bring out those top-end tones. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between... And I'm just going to boost this up for that chorus effect as well. And at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Now, if I go up a little more here so I can see where that is, let me just loop this now by selecting an in and an out. We've got the loop on.
We love the 80s. We love the 80s.
Now,
we love the
that
80s.
is very, very flat. Like there's minimal stereo separation there. We boost this up to 100%.
We love the 80s. We love the 80s.
You can hear that that is all of a sudden now a wider sound. So that's about all I want to do with this, is just add a little bit of reverb to it. So we're getting a bit of nice reverb on the voice. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Now, because I've used the speech volume leveler on this vocal bus here, I don't want to touch the loudness maximizer at all. We can use that when we finalize it. Now, speaking of finalizing, I showed you how to use the Essential Sound panel to duck the voice. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Now, there is a problem. You can't hear anything because of the music. You could go through and you could put your own keyframes on here. Do you know what? I'm just going to experiment on my journey here, because I've never done it this way before. If I select the Essential Sound panel here, and then let's minimize this down so we can see all of the vocal clips. Can I select them all at once as dialogue? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So those are all now assigned as dialogue. We assign this as music and we enable the ducking. And let's see, is anything happening? Hello, this is Mark Denham. No, nothing is happening. So maybe that is not working quite as I want it to work. It's not, is it? It's not going to do any ducking at all there. Oh, hang on, it has. It was just analysing. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Okay, so that fade there is a little bit dramatic, I think. It's faded down before the voice has even started, and that's because we've given it a long time. Let's set that shorter. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. I don't like that bit, how it handles this here with the... and you've got 80s at 8. It's because it notices that the volume of the echo is fading away. Can we change that by bringing that down a bit? Oh, no. Maybe we should bring it up a bit. Let's see. What happens if we take that to 9? Oh, or 6. That's where it started. Let's try again at 9. See whether that does make a difference or not. You may notice a little gap there. That's because I am doing this today whilst waiting for the RAC, because annoyingly, my car doesn't like the cold weather. But anyway, I've spoken to the RAC, and they should be with me, hopefully within the next hour, which will give me more than enough time to finish this. Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on Atom Radio. Now, that's not really making much difference, is it? What would make a difference to that is if I was to boost up the fades again. That would make more of a difference, and you can see... Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on Atom Radio. But that still doesn't sit right with me. Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co. Okay, by doing 600, I've got rid of it. Got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. Okay, so there we are. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love... Now, that's one way of doing this, okay? That is one way that we can do this, and that will produce something acceptable. I'm going to turn that off just for a moment, and we'll go back to... Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the... Okay, too loud now on the music. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go in here, Effects, Amplitude and Compression, Dynamics Processing. This is not one that we've used before. And I'm going to go with Soft Limit at -24. Okay, now...
We love the 80s.
So far, that's done nothing. What I want to do is I want to change this from 16, so it's not boosted up. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you can see straight away that that is actually quite quieter now. So let's have a little listen to what we've got so far. You'll see why I've done this in a moment. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Right, now if I go down to this handy bus here where all of the tracks are in one place, and if I go to the sends, then I can sidechain that, create to the dynamics processing on the first one that we've done. Okay, so that now... Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Hello, this is Mark Denham. And now let me just mute all these off for a second. If I was to mute, and I'm just wanting to see here whether I've perhaps been a little bit harsh here. Let me just mix this down. I just want to mix down the entire session. At the moment, there are no vocals. You should see some form of, all you can see there is that's gone very, very quiet regardless. So I may have been a little bit harsh there in my side chaining, I have to say. But we can work on that and we can get something that's a little more realistic. Go back up here, edit this dynamics processing effect here, go into the settings and let's give that, say, a 10. gain, and let's see how that sounds now. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. Okay, so that's the other way of doing it, sidechain compression. What I am thinking here is 80s at 8. I'm just going to stop that there, and then what I want to do is I want to have one more channel just in here, and for this I want to go, let me just minimize that one, and that, and if I go into here, let's have a look in here. No. Can I add that in so that, say, ends there? Let's have a little try with that and see how that sounds. Okay, that's still playing. Don't really want that, but let's have a little... All right. Think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on... If I was to drag that further along, let me just go back up here to where that ends. Just trying to place this, and let's see how it sounds now. So that's going to start. And you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk. Okay, what we might need to do is we might need to drag in the rest of that now and then find an end to that. So what we could do is we could cut this here, delete the bit we don't need, and stick that on there, and then we have an ending to that effect rather than it just fading away. Or maybe we could look at this one that peters out. Let's have a listen. You've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk. That's not too bad. I just want to bring that down a little bit in the mix. That's the individual track volume there. Let's have a listen. You've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on... That's too low. Try in the middle. We're just doing this by feel. We've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk. Okay, that's fine. Get rid of that. And there we go. We have now created a basic promo. We've done it using Essential Sound, which is the basic kind of, you know, whatever your level, you can produce something good. Or we've done it using sidechain compression. So what we'll do is, this is very, very bad. I've not saved it to this point. One or more are located. No, we don't need to move those to the session folder because I know where they are. Save the changes that we normalize to that. And then what we can just do is if we now right click mix down session, entire session, we will get our finished production and we can have a little look. You can see there where we went left, right. Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s. Now, what did I say about mastering? Effects, special, mastering. No reverb, no exciter this time. Let's go back to default. No reverb, no exciter, no widener, because we've done that on the voice and we don't want to do it on the music. All we're looking at here now is... Hello, this is Mark Denham, and at Atom Radio, we love the 80s.
We love the 80s.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, we play you an hour of non-stop 80s between 8 and 9 UK time. Think Madonna, think Rick Astley, think Whitney Houston, think Belinda Carlisle, and you've got 80s at 8. Exclusively on atomradio.co.uk, on TuneIn, on iTunes Radio, and on your smart speaker. There you go. There is just a little bit of that. We'll apply that. Done. So that is just a very, very basic promo that we have created that can now go out on Atom Radio. That'll be loaded up and it will go out. And that's how simple it is. The important thing to stress here with all of this is the more you learn Adobe Audition or whatever your digital audio workstation is, be it Pro Tools, be it Audacity, the more you learn it, the more you can play with your imagination. It's your imagination that lets you go. Now, this is just a simple promo. You know, you could go wild and wacky. You could have sound effects all through that. You could have panning left and right all through it, whether you wanted to or not. You know, you could be producing something serious, like a serious voiceover. So you wouldn't want to do half of this stuff. But you can see, if we go back to the multi-track, what we've done is we have one music track here. And then we have one voiceover that we have cut in many places and applied different vocal tracks to. And they are all going to they're all going to the vocal bus, all of these tracks. So when they hit the vocal bus, if we scroll down to where the vocal bus is, they're getting DS, they're getting a parametric equalizer, a speech volume leveler, and they're getting a tiny little bit of mastering treatment as well. Rather than adding that to every track individually, it's done and we are sorted because they're all done by the bus. And then each of these effects, obviously the chorus, the FFT filter, I've removed the name of that, this left-right pan with the parametric equalizer cutting off all the low end, and then a bit of chorus with echo. All of those all go through that bus, and then it all goes out to the master. And that is basically it. What I will do is I've got a podcast to edit. That'll be our next episode. You can join me for an editing session of the TSI World Bracknell Bees podcast. This promo will be now saved out and stuck onto atomradio.co.uk. In our next episode on the audio journey, we'll go through a podcast edit session and how I would edit that. And then what we'll do is we will look at creating your own templates for whatever you do regularly. So if you're a voiceover, maybe you just want to create a little effects rack to apply to your voice. I'll show you how to create that in an upcoming video and how to save it. I'll show you also how to create, if you are a producer, an audio producer, your own template that you can use to produce imaging, jingles, sweepers, etc., etc. And again, if you're a podcaster, I'll show you how to create your own template for that. Hopefully you found today's helpful. Even with the interruption due to my broken down car and the call from the RAC. Hopefully you found today's helpful. And if you do need, of course, any advice or anything like that, or you need any production done or voiceovers recorded, then you can always get in touch via markdenham.com. Use the contact tab. Look after yourself and have fun recording and producing great audio.